Hi, it's Skip Innovates here, and as you can tell from the jacket, this is a resonance security video. And today I want to address what I consider to be the 3 reasons why computer security is so woeful in this day and age. And the first reason, I think, is money. The problems that companies face when it comes to allocating budgets is that security is seen as a sunk cost. You spend the money, you don't seem to get anything for it. And so a CEO faced with either spending money on marketing and having potentially a successful company on their hands versus spending a large amount of money on computer security and not advertising the project or product and not ending up with customers, well, from their perspective, the latter choice is a bad one. There's no point having a secure product that nobody buys. It's actually better to have an insecure product that lots of people are buying. And therefore, when it comes to allocating the budget, things like sales and marketing, and then possibly adding new features, will come ahead of securing the product, even though in the long term that is a bit short-sighted. So the second problem then follows on from the first one, which is a lack of know-how in the company as to good security practices. And the issue there is that even if you do spend money on experts in the security field, that doesn't mean that you're going to end up with employees who actually know what they're doing. You need to have a certain level of security knowledge to interview the candidates, to check they're not going to do something stupid like store passwords in plain text or think that SMS two-factor authentication is a really good impenetrable security idea, things like that. So there's your issue. And this is one of the problems with AI programming. It's not guaranteed that if you use AI to write your product and set up, say, a user database, that it is going to recommend all the current best security practices or even some of the older ones. It may just grab a tutorial in which user data is stored in plain text, and it may not walk you through how to secure your database. So there's issue number 2. And then finally, issue number 3 is the fact that the infrastructure that we have for computers and networking was not built from the ground up to be secure. Operating systems like Windows were initially designed around there being one user not connected to a network, if you go that far back. And Unix was built with the idea that the systems were going to be used by Unix users who were experienced, working typically in academia or research, and where the idea of attacking the computer network system, well, the only people who were going to do that were clueless undergraduates. So again, the security infrastructure that we have is an add-on to the existing systems, and certainly with things like logging in, you can see that it's just one layer piled on top of the next one, which is a bit like trying to fix a bad burger by pouring more sauce onto it. There comes a point where the whole thing just sort of collapses into a soggy mess. So those are the 3 problems: allocation of budget to security, lack of know-how in the people tasked with making the system secure, and the fact that they are starting from a bad initial point because our computer systems were not designed with security in mind at the very beginning. So it makes security a really, really tricky business. Fortunately, there are people out there who know what they're doing, and you can hire them. So really what it boils down to is when your project gets to the point that you are on the radar, you definitely need to have talked to somebody about securing it by that point, preferably, if you can afford it, beforehand. Otherwise, in the long run, you're going to be paying the price. And we have moved into a world where regulation demands that you protect users' personal information and personal identifiable information carefully, or you can face financial penalties. And ultimately, that, I think, is the greatest deterrent of all when it comes to the executive deciding whether or not to spend money on security: the fear of falling foul of regulations. All the rest actually not financially important to them. So that's today's video. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye for now.